Hey all, here OS Reviews. Ever since we checked out the Moft laptop stand from a while back, I've been kind of a fan of this category of ultra lightweight, kind of stick-on stands that are able to elevate the position of the laptop onto a higher angle, making it more ergonomic, as well as providing additional airflow to cool off the computer when you're using it. So I've always been on the lookout for additional alternatives to try out, and today we're taking a look at the Magno 2-in-1 laptop stand. Like the Moft, it's ultra slim, so you can slide it into a backpack when you're on the go, as well as magnetic to provide the different inclines and angles for elevation. What makes this model a little bit more unique is it also comes with an optional detachable wrist pad for added ergonomic comfort. It's a universal stand, so it should work with any laptop up to 17 inches, whether it's Chrome OS, Windows, or MacBooks. And it also includes an additional little module as a kickstand that you can use to snap on a smartphone on the side. What also makes this perhaps a little bit more practical compared to Moft is you can also use it as a desk mode. So you don't have to necessarily elevate the angle upwards. Since the surface of the Magno is a little bit larger and wider, you can rest it onto your lap, providing you with a slightly more comfortable desk lap mode. So this can be also an interesting option for devices including the Microsoft Surface, which requires a kickstand. And as we know, those products tend to be a bit more wobbly if you're just popping it onto your lap without a flat surface. So this tries to provide that in addition to the elevated angle compared to the Moft, which still requires a flat surface for it to work. And this does come in a few different colors, including a more standard black, also in white. Sakura is a light pink, as well as a lighter shade of blue that they have available as well. So here's just a quick example of some of those pieces. It all snaps into this one compartment, including the elevation for the phone. That kickstand part also is on the base, so you don't lose it. And as you can tell, the wrist pad is on the backside when you're taking it on the road. Everything can be detached using magnets as well and rearranged. So it's pretty clever and seems to be a bit more versatile and feature-rich compared to Moft. You can even attach a tablet, including an iPad, on the kickstand mode as well if you choose to do so. So the angle here can be adjustable from 8 degrees to 38 degrees. Different modes here including storage, lap use, or desk use, with everything fully expanded. And inside here we have the gray colored edition. Further down below here, we also get, it looks like a soft carrying pouch when you are traveling or on the go, a nice little extra. And there's also going to be a quick user guide inside of this envelope that says where comfort meets creativity. Just a pretty thoughtful thank you card, as well as, again, the full instruction manual. And first impressions being that it is made out of the same kind of synthetic leather finish as the Moft. So it has this small texture to it if you're looking really closely, providing just a little bit more grip and texture to it. And everything here really is just using magnets, so it is quite flexible in how you want to position the kickstand a little bit higher versus lower back. The entire strip here is magnetic. You can angle it accordingly, and once you find a spot that you're comfortable with, you can attach it onto the desk, which the entire surface here is magnetic, or of course place it onto the edge here. So here's an example of an Android smartphone where we have one of those magnet stickers stuck on. These can be found for just $1 or $2 a pop if you don't have a MagSafe iPhone, for instance, and still make this process compatible. So then you can stick it onto the kickstand, providing you with a pretty comfortable experience just by setting the phone here onto the side, checking out some quick notifications while you're getting work done here on the laptop side, or of course pop it onto still the desk component. And since the magnet here is just a 360 circle, you can also rotate the phone, so you can position it sideways into something like this. And what's clever is the palm rest region can act as a kickstand for the desk in kind of this slope or incline if you're just lying this thing completely flat and putting it onto your lap. And again, the flat surface here provides a bit more support for your laptop or Surface tablet, and also alleviates some of the heat that you might feel otherwise. So this is quite clever, still providing you with a little bit of airflow and incline in that particular mode. Or of course, if you are on just a regular flat surface or desk, you can detach it completely and then use it like a regular wrist pad there for your hands and provide you with some additional ergonomics. So again, this part is also magnetic, coated with some soft touch rubber, so it won't really slide around onto a surface when you're lying it down. The desk region here consists of the laptop stand part that again can be freely rearranged anywhere on the desk because everything here is magnetic. And there's also a little bit of a latch here on the very bottom that can be useful for, again, preventing the laptop from falling out if you are using it in a higher incline mode or with a tablet popped on in here as a kickstand. All right, so it looks like there are tons of different angles that you're able to just adjust and maneuver this thing into. Again, stick it onto the magnetic plate here when you're satisfied. You can also use other angles and inclines, including here on the side, to have a slightly less steep degree. What I will say is it's not going to be unlimited angles per se, like on a surface kickstand where you're able to smoothly change by increments of 1 degree forward and backwards like this using a completely flexible hinge, but rather it's using some of the preset angles from the magnets as it's being locked into place. But you can still pick between a variety that goes, again, further back or more elevated upwards. And then last but not least, because the wrist pad here is magnetic, again, when we flip the desk around, this region is also magnetic, which means if you wanted to, you could technically place this kickstand component onto the back and provide you with an incline as well as a smooth surface here on the front. So this gives you another way of working, perhaps again with something like a tablet if you need a flat surface here to set it onto, then connect it to a wireless keyboard or a wireless mouse and do a little bit more productivity in this mode. Or perhaps if you're a graphic artist and you're using your iPad as well as the Apple Pencil or a stylus for drawing and doodling, this becomes a pretty comfortable canvas. Alternatively, here's what a laptop again looks like if you pop it onto this ergonomic stand and you're able to type with just a slightly more comfortable angle, especially when you then use the wrist pad here down below once you do lie it onto a flat surface. So again, could be a nice way to just bring essentially a more comfortable working environment with you as you're on the go and traveling. Here's also a quick profile view on the edge of what the kickstand here looks like if we're using it in this particular mode. The surface here now being completely flat, but we still get the incline if we pop the magnetic kickstand onto the top side, and it still works pretty well. Not too much flexing going on as you are pressing down onto the keyboard region, as you can tell. That being said, if you are really using this onto your lap, just by placing the wrist pad again onto the back side, keep in mind the entire weight will still be supported on your legs. So although this can hold up to 17-inch laptops, do know that in that particular mode, first of all, there really is no longer any space to pop in the phone kickstand part. So if you want to also put this part onto the desk, you would ideally have to use, I would say, laptops around 14 inches and under can accommodate both objects on the desk surface without it falling off. And also, again, if you are just carrying a lighter laptop, it's going to feel less heavy when you are on your lap. So just keep that in mind compared to a freestanding desk that has legs. And since, again, the surface here is completely magnetic, it does mean you can move some of the pieces around ever so slightly. For instance, shifting the kickstand even a little bit further back, and it still seems to hold the weight all right if you want to further play around with the incline. And of course, the further close that you get, it's going to move the laptop's angle a little bit higher up as well, allowing you to get the advertised both objects onto the desk if you are placing the components a little bit further apart, as you can tell there. But overall, I think working well enough for a lightweight solution like this. So that is more or less it as far as our quick hands-on look at the Magno 2-in-1 laptop stand. In this instance, the 2-in-1 I think not only relates to being both a desk as well as a kickstand, but also since it comes in 2 pieces for both laptops, tablets, as well as smartphones in this particular setup. And the entire thing, again, how it just then compactly folds up when you're done, is pretty cool from a design perspective and definitely more practical compared to the Moft stands, since it still requires you to set it onto a flat table to get the best effect, whereas this one, again, has basically a desk of its own in addition to a magnetic kickstand component, making this one perhaps the most feature-rich, folding, ultra-compact laptop stands that we have seen yet. So if you're interested in something like this, you can check out more details in the links down below. For now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Magno 2-in-1 stand.